Today's video is a bit different. It is not a video I ever thought I would have to make, and probably isn't one that I really wanted to make either. Basically, my skin took a turn for the worst within the past couple of months, and I've had to make some very serious changes in order to help restore it. So if you're interested in hearing more about my recent skin journey, then stay tuned.
I'm going to put all this in at the beginning.
You're not.
I am.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining today. This is really a weird one, and I, to be honest, debated whether or not I was going to do this video because I did have something quite drastic happen a couple of months ago. Kind of came out of nowhere, and frankly, it was a little bit surprising. Okay, so the way that it began was so subtle that I didn't even notice it. I had a little bit of peeling. In fact, cameraman there, Gary, said, kind of, what's that thing going on right there? There's a tiny bit of skin peeling I had right here. While it was an odd place for it to occur, it's not unusual to occasionally get a bit of peeling because I use a prescription tretinoin. It's the strongest you can get. And from time to time, I can get a little bit of peeling sort of around the nose or around the sides of the mouth. And it's not hugely unusual, although it doesn't happen very often. But what happened was one evening I was doing my standard double cleanse, and I noticed when I looked at the cloth, it looked like pilling products. Like there was a little bit of something on the washcloth that I use, and I was a bit surprised and kind of, oh, that's unusual. I wonder what product that could be, because I had a full face of makeup and whatever. Didn't really think too much of it. Washed everything off, put on my regular stuff, and went to bed. The next morning I woke up and I was in the shower, and I tend to do a very light cleanse in the morning, something milky or creamy, you know, very unintrusive, just to kind of freshen my face up for the day. And as I was rinsing off again, I noticed a little bit of pilling, and I thought, well, geez, there's not really anything there to pill, so what is that about? Got out and kind of went about my day. And this went on for very few days, 1 or 2 days. And then I happened to be at the salon. I was getting a waxing done. And I said to the therapist there, do me a favor, would you look at my skin? At this stage, I had nothing on because I noticed I was trying to figure out what product was causing this, what product wasn't playing well with my other products. I said, can you do me a favor, look at my skin and tell me, do you see product? Do you see something on my face? Or do you see skin? And she kind of looked really closely and she said, that's your skin peeling. And I kind of went, oh shit, you know, I kind of need to figure out what this is about. So at that stage, I stopped absolutely everything. Every single product I was putting on my face. And I use a lot of actives. And I feel I need to put the disclaimer out there. The products that I've been using for years and years and years, I totally believe in. They're the products that I've talked about on this channel so many times, and I truly believe in them. So that is not what this video is about. It's just a little bit of my personal journey. So every single day I was using a vitamin C, you know, really good antioxidants, and it helps to fight so many environmental stressors. It helps with brightening. It's just, I love vitamin C, and I've used it every day for years and years and years. I also use moisturizers. I also use SPF. I use tretinoin at night, which is a real heavy hitter, but I also used regular exfoliants. But look, guys, I have been using these for donkey's years, and I've never had any problems. I stopped everything. Absolutely everything. Now, I did go with a moisturizer and an SPF because my skin is dehydrated and it's quite dry, and I couldn't do nothing. So I went back to the bare basics of cleansing, a little moisturizer and SPF, and I stopped everything else. So I very quickly decided to engage with an esthetician. Now, by the way, I get facials no, that's a lie. I don't get facials all the time. Not as often as I would like to, and not as often as I used to. But I've never had anyone say that I don't have great skin. I take care of my skin. This channel is all about that. It's experimenting with things that help my skin get better, not worse. At any rate, I had an online consultation with an esthetician in the US, and we took pictures. I did the full list of my routines and all the stuff that I'm using. And the first thing that she recommended that I do is skin fasting. Now, I'd never really heard of this or never really introduced it into my routine by choice, but basically it's the idea of just stop everything. You know, we put so much stuff on our skin that we don't often give our skin the time and the space that it needs to do its own job. And it's really good at reparative work. It's really good at taking care of itself. It can inject moisture when it's needed. It can do all these things, but by putting so much product on our skin, sometimes the skin gets lazy. I thought, okay, that makes sense. So she said, what you need to do is you need to skin fast for 2 days. I was like, what? I mean, that's like chopping off an arm, telling me not to spritz, not to moisturize, not to put, you know, all of those good things into my skin that's going to nourish it. kind of did one of those. I'm like, you must be having a laugh. I can't do nothing. And my skin is by nature dehydrated. And I thought, I will not be able to survive without something on my skin. Now, when you do this, you kind of need to stay out of the sun because I'm not putting on SPF. I'm talking nothing. And I did it. I did it for 3 days, I believe, in the end, just to see if I could do it. Just at this stage, I knew I needed to do something. So I took the advice and I did nothing. I was shocked at how not difficult it was. And my skin was fine. Like, it might have been a little, drier than I would like it to be, but it wasn't horrendous. And it wasn't anything like what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to come out, no. So on the advice of this esthetician, I also decided to purchase just a handful of products, and I was going to start very slow. Products that I picked up were these by a company called Bella Aura. They are based in Canada. Now, let me say, this is not a sponsored video. They don't know I'm doing this. Now, I do like the products enough. I did contact the company and ask them if I could get a discount code for you guys in case you're interested in trying it, and if I could be a little bit of an ambassador, because ultimately, spoiler alert, this has really helped my skin. So initially, I think it was probably for the first three or 4 weeks, I only used 2 products. I used Hydra Revive, which is this light sort of lotiony, very soothing and gentle product. And then I used their moisturizer. And that was pretty much it. I'm not going to get into the details of the products themselves because that's something that you can do on your own, and I may do more of that later if you guys are interested. But both of these products, all of their products are really heavily antioxidant based. Nothing in there that was going to irritate. I think that's the thing that surprised me the most about this whole thing, is that I didn't see this coming. Like, there were no indicators that my skin was damaged. I didn't have any irritation. I didn't have any redness. Like, there was nothing at all, except I just start to feel this little bit of pilling. And honestly, this could have gone on for months without me even noticing, just thinking that, that this, maybe some products weren't working together. I will say, I do think I know the culprit here. I'm not going to say it on this video because I could be wrong, but I have a pretty steady and regular routine. While things the brands might change here or there, I sort of have the same type of products that I use. And I introduced one into my routine, and I think that's what started to set it all off. It's a very potentially irritating product that I was still using with all my other products. I think that's probably what caused it. Whatever the reason, it's gotten to me to where I am today. And so far, these products have been great. I started with 2, and then I'm slowly introducing a few others as I go. I introduced an eye cream, and then there was a night serum, and then there's also now this wrinkle reducer. So there are a couple of different products that I've been experimenting with. And so far, I'm loving it, and it's doing good things for my skin. There hasn't been any negative effect. But it's weird, because all of the stuff that I have loved, and I still swear by, and I'm still going to recommend, they're not in my routine right now. Primarily AHAs, so I'm not doing any exfoliating aside from using a cloth. I'm not using a vitamin C. I'm not using any kind of retinoid. And by the way, I still hail these all as king. But I'm not using them right now because I really need to figure out what's going on. And I'm sort of dabbling in that sort of cleaner space, although I don't like to use that word because I don't think clean beauty exists. Everything's created in a lab, therefore things are manipulated. But I'm looking for products that are more naturally sourced and they're using more natural ingredients, whatever. This is just the journey that I'm on for myself right now. The big question is, and Gary asked me this too, really, are you not going to experiment anymore? That would be like chopping off my other arm. I can't imagine, because that's what this whole channel is about, finding and experimenting with really good products for my skin. So this is an occupational hazard. Sometimes things are going to go wrong. And when I've tried things, and I know when my skin doesn't like them because it generally tells me, it gets irritated, itchy, whatever. So I don't exactly know how long this particular process is going to last, when I'll start experimenting with. I think it's in my nature to experiment, but it has been a very interesting learning experience. And I think the fasting is one of the things that I've introduced into the routine that will stay here. So I try to once a month fast for 2 days. And I try to go, if I can, once a week for 1 day without anything. Now, it's hard to do because if there's makeup involved, then that means all bets are off. I have to moisturize. I have to cleanse, which is the main thing there. But if I know I'm not going to be going outside, because I'm still working from home most of the time, I can manage to get away with no sunscreen and giving it a rest. And I find that my skin kind of feels better for it. So that's one of these interesting things that I think will forever, remain in my routine. But as for the products, I'm having to take a break from all of my beloved products right now. Can't say it's forever, won't say it's forever, because I just don't know. But it's one of these things that I've been alluding in my videos and even on my Instagram account that I've had to make some shifts. in the products that I usually purchase, and it's a little painful. I'm a little uneasy about it because tretinoin has been my best friend for, 8-9 years I've been using it, and I believe in it. I'm just not going to do it right now. So that's kind of where I am at the minute. So my little rotating display of products that is constantly in influx and change isn't really changing at the moment. It's kind of depleting, as I had used up a lot of products, and I'm sharing products actually with other friends and people that I don't want to see things go off. But for right now, I'm giving my skin a break. I'm trying to put some kind of continuity to it, to the range that I'm using, and we'll see what's going to happen. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I know it's kind of a strange one. You know, I have a content calendar. I tend to know the stuff that I'm going to talk about sort of coming down the road, and this just wasn't on there. It's not one that I would have liked to have made. I don't like the fact that my skin's going on this particular journey, but sure, we all have the bumps in the road, and I'm just thought it would be right to share mine with you. If you like the look of this video, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and also hit that notification bell so that you know every time a new video is uploaded, which happens every week. So if you have any particular, journey yourself, you've had some problems, some challenges, anything, do me a favor and put that stuff down below, because I'm just as interested in what's going on in your lives as, communicating what's going on in mine. I'm sure we've all had run-ins with products. I know it happens all the time. I don't always talk about it here, but that's sort of the products that are not in the repurchase category or whatever. But this was a particularly challenging one, and I'd really like to hear about your experiences too if you have them. So thanks again for joining, and I will see you at the next video. Bye. What are you looking at down there?
The dog.
You're distracting me.
Sorry.
I'm looking at you, looking at the dog.
Okay.